budget brain teasers, artistic enigmas, and business bounties. All this and more as the Stafford Weekly News starts now. Welcome to the Friday, September 8th edition of the Stafford Weekly News. I'm Randall Williams. SMSD recently had their budget approved for this school year, but it was a hard process, and the coming year may be harder. On August 21st, SMSD passed its budget for the coming year. And recently, we spoke to Superintendent Robert Bostic about why this was a difficult year.
So this year, we had some serious challenges with compiling the budget and getting things together because the state put in all kinds of roadblocks and obstacles that we have just not had before. We've had things like having to get a maximum compressed tax rate that we had to get before we can even come up with the tax rate or calculate the tax rate. But we also had to wait for things like the Texas legislature to come out of session after the second special session to decide that they wanted to do an additional $100,000 tax break for taxpayers, which I think is a great idea on first blush. But everything is always in the details, especially when it comes to things like public schools. One of the challenges that we ran into was, first of all, having to incorporate those tax breaks that were there from each of the different county appraisal districts. Because in Stafford, we have two county appraisal districts. We have the Fort Bend County Appraisal District, and we also have the Harris County Appraisal District. They give us the appraised tax value for any of the houses, any of the buildings, any of the businesses in our taxable area. In the past, many years ago, we were able to basically ask taxpayers for about $1.04 per $100 of valuation. When the legislature started to compress the tax rate, it's gone down now to we can only tax 68 cents. For the taxpayer, that's great. But for the schools that operate off those taxes, that means that our revenue went down significantly. And then the other part for us was we couldn't get it in a timely manner. So we had to get it kind of at the last moment after they had gone through the second special session. And then besides giving the tax cuts, they didn't give any revenue increases to deal with things like inflation or, in Stafford, things like recapture, where all of a sudden we needed to pay $2 million and cut a $2 million check, and that $2 million had to be cut immediately. In fact, by August 15th. So that was a serious impact to us. The way I like to look at it, if you're not used to dealing with this kind of work every day, is I like saying that it's being on a fixed income. You know, I've got a mom. My mom's over 80. She gets the same amount every month. No matter whether things cost more or cost less, she gets the same amount every month, every year, no changes. That's kind of what the state does for public schools. They put us on a fixed income, and that's kind of where we are. The problems that I think will continue to kind of dog public schools, no matter what has occurred, is if the legislature continues to fail to act to fund public schools, you're going to have, larger classrooms because we won't be able to afford that. You're going to have probably some decrease in some programming that we have around there. So some of the programs that are not included in what we call the basic programs that the state of Texas pays for in their formula. Because in order to come up with that fixed income amount, they have designated basically how much they'll pay per student and what kind of programs are required by the state through the state's curriculum and those kind of things, which we follow. We're willing to follow those, and we're assessed on those. But the things that they don't assess and they don't pay for are some of those things that I call that are like value added. So the state doesn't pay for, anything that we do with infant care in Stafford. We do that. We think that's the right thing to do, right? And so that's what we do. The state does not pay for, for pre-K instruction, they'll pay for part of it for pre-K instruction. But we think pre-K instruction is smart because that's what helps to raise our academics. It also helps to make sure the kids are on a good and level footing. So we've done what's there. But those are things that we have to look at and evaluate. Things like we've got a great early college program. Where, like right now, we have put out so many outstanding early college graduates, and we've done it with our tax dollars here for years now. I think this is my 4th or 5th year getting this out, and we had 78. I mean, we're getting close to. We've got more than a third of the senior class with associate's degrees before they get high school. That's not fully covered. That's not covered by state money. So we always have to supplement that program with dollars that we would get through the state that we now no longer get. I've never had a kid who ever asked, or a parent who said, please give me the best 2nd or 3rd class education that you can give me. Never had a person give me that. No one. I've been in education for almost 40 years, and I can guarantee you I've never had anyone tell me that. I think that it would be wise for our elected officials to really ask those questions as they're going into not only the voting booth, but voting on the House floor or on the Senate floor, to ask the difficult questions, to see what's in there, because I really just hope and believe that their intent is not to hurt public schools, because in Texas, they're doing a pretty good job with public schools, and there are challenges, but believe me, but local control, where school boards, like our school board and our city council, because we're the only municipal school district in the state of Texas, they weigh in very often with me and the administration on, every dollar that's spent, the programs that are being run, things that are happening. And those are the things that are affected. And it's painful and challenging when I can't give them an answer that I think would have some solid footing, that even deals with things that I would say with integrity and say, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So I don't really think this is a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea to hurt public schools, even if it's unintentional. And if it is unintentionally, to make some moves to change it, and to prioritize public schools that are in the Texas Constitution for things that we're doing, and they can check that. But to provide education for all kids, I'd like to do that.
Take a trip. Next.
In Stafford, diversity is not just a number, it's who we are.
When you are here, you become part of the story.
You can sleep well knowing we're always on the job and looking out for you.
It's a great place for growth and opportunity.
Tradition starts here.
We teach your children and we stick around for your grandchildren.
We are one. We are Stafford.
This is the city of Stafford, and we are one.
Some art just asks you to look at it and enjoy. Other art seeks to draw you into its mysteries. Currently at the Stafford campus, one of the mysterious ones.
In the beginning, when you say secret, you're literally shushing and being quieter. There's also a she and a he and that title. And so you end up with the word secret, but in a more phonetic way. And then garden is spelled G-U-R-D. And then there's the word den. And so I was thinking about the way we guard these quiet secrets and maybe the den of our homes. So it evolved from secret garden to secret garden. That is a vanity from my home, like in my own bedroom. So there's a lot of intimacy in this. And if you sit down in the vanity, you'll see that the mirrors are placed so that you can see both exits without having to move your head. So I wanted to create a private moment where you could sit down but still feel aware of your surroundings, and this private, cozy moment behind you, you're seeing the work, so you're literally putting yourself in the work. There's words that I wrote on the mirror just to remind myself of things to do that get cast, the shadows on your face. And you can look through the drawers and you'll see all the books that I've read during my studies and sort of how this process that I'm involved, what it was inspired by, which was basically, an undergraduate, I was told to read The Reenchantment of Art. And rather than focusing on art as commodity, it talks about a more transformational, living object. So, it's evolving. And so as the show goes on, I'm going to be adding more and more research and more secrets about my own life that I think that I've shielded, kept really close, because I think that it could help other people find out some information and resources about things we don't want to talk about. We usually keep quiet. So all of the works, are very time-based. They're ongoing. So this has been, at least 4 years, and it's been growing. And it's basically a deconstructed painting. Is how it started out, with ripping canvas and then slowly sewing that and then hand weaving it back together. So at the time I was looking at these bleached grasses in a field and thinking about how at the end of the summer, they're just fading away and falling apart and deconstructing, but then once the seeds get planted again, it grows back together. So this sort of life cycle. And it started growing, and this painting was half the size, and then it started growing some more, and then it took over an entire window. But I also create with a particular person in mind, and this one was for my brother and my sister-in-law, who have been, I feel like I owe everything the past couple of years to them. They've been such a huge support. So feeling like I'm being pieced back together too after being ripped apart a little bit.
Secret ingredients. Next.
You can try, but you won't find another city like Stafford, Texas.
Serving our community just like you like it.
Taking care of you and your home since 1945.
We believe in STEM to learn and STEM to earn.
We're heading into college certified and career ready.
As a former student of Stafford, I take pride in keeping our classrooms safe.
We are Stafford, we are one.
Stafford is famously a business-friendly city, but what sort of businesses call it home? We have 3 for you this week, from tech solutions to tasty pastries.
So we're Innova. We are a company that was established in Stafford, Texas in 2017. Our objective is to develop technologies for the energy industry. We also support environmental and the energy transition areas for different companies. We work with almost all super major oil companies in the US, and we work with many national oil companies around the world. We also work with service companies, with chemical companies in different type of projects. The way we approach problems that our clients bring to us is by understanding their problems, providing consulting services, but we can also conduct laboratory tests, and sometimes with equipment that we can fabricate in-house. Our specialty is the development and the validation of laboratory tests at high pressure and high temperature conditions. We can also develop computational models that we can then package into software that is highly specialized and is not available in the market. Our experience also allows to guide our clients from helping them diagnose the problems to the identification of potential solutions. In many cases, chemicals might be needed, so we can help them select the chemicals that most likely work at their conditions in the production because of the capabilities that we have in our laboratories to do so at high pressure and high temperature conditions. So we look forward to hearing from you. So we can help you develop the strategies that you need to identify and mitigate your problems.
Quick Cool Portable Cooling Systems has been in business since 1997. We've been in Stafford for 5 years and have founded a very optimum location for our factory. We're considered the second largest commercial portable manufacturer in the U.S. We distribute in all 50 states and Canada. We produce 52 unique models divided into 5 separate series based on application type. Our philosophy is don't hand a customer a screwdriver if they need a scalpel. The closer you can meet a customer's needs, the better he feels about the value he's acquired from us. Our factory has the most cutting-edge equipment in the country, and it produces the highest quality product. We don't test every 4th or 5th unit that we produce. We test every single unit before it leaves this plant. Our advanced technology allows us to develop, design, build, test, and bring to market a new product within 6 to 9 months. For customers who want to examine our equipment in more detail, they go to our website, www.kwikool.com.
The Cake Craft Shop opened its doors in 2000 to make imported decorating products available to the retail buyer locally and throughout the U.S. We are a full-service baking and cake decorating supply store, stocking items like cake boards, cake boxes, foils, decorating tips, baking pans, cookie cutters, and much more. In addition to selling top-quality cake and baking supplies, the Cake Craft Shop offers basic through advanced baking, cake, and cookie decorating classes for both adults and kids. Our instructors have well over 40 years of cake decorating and baking experience. We also bring top sugar artists from around the world to teach in our classrooms in our kitchen. We have a 4-year baking academy program for teens from 11 to 16 years of age. They learn everything from baking to decorating amazing cakes, and at the end of each course, the bakers design a cake to take to competition in Austin at the end of March. And let's not forget our homeschool program that helps kids learn baking and decorating skills while earning fine arts credits. We host birthday parties, bachelorette parties, and our newest, Cake Wars, for private and corporate events to teach the art of sweet treat decorating in a fun team-building experience. We make custom cookie cutters, cake toppers, stencils, along with other custom-made products such as gum paste, flowers, and bows, just to name a few. The Cake Craft Shop is proud to be locally owned and operated by passionate cake enthusiasts with over 40 years of experience. We are here in Stafford and would love to have you visit our shop or join one of our classes soon.
That's a wrap on our news for this week. Thank you for joining us. For everyone here at Stafford Weekly News, I'm Randall Williams. May all your news be good news. This program was produced on the Stafford campus of Houston Community College.